night. Putting work till it's daylight. Yeah, inspiration ain't required. I go hard in the pain even when I'm tired. Cause tomorrow ain't promised. I give my all, ain't nothing left. No tomorrow ain't promised. There's no tomorrow, no tomorrow, no.
Time to go hard in the paint. We're here for another episode, man, and it's light out there. I don't know. It's light out there. It's light. I thought y'all were going hard in the paint with me, man. But nevertheless, guess what? No matter what you do, I go hard. I go hard. And our first guest that we have today, the only guest that we have today, he goes a little hard in the paint to us. I want y'all to know we're gonna put a little structure to this going forward. We'll have our guests on the show to start. Then we'll get into a little bit from you guys to see what topics y'all got, and then I'm gonna give y'all some options. We're gonna start doing some story time with yells because I got a lot of them. But look, man, I want to introduce our guest today. I appreciate him making time for us. He's a world champion many times over, one of the longest reigns that you may have ever seen, and he's just honestly. He's considered one of the best in the biz. I don't even get to the introductions. I give my intro like that, and then I get straight into the questions. And what I'm going to say is Roman Reigns is joining us, WWE superstar Roman Reigns. So, Roman, appreciate you joining us today. Look, man, we know we're supposed to be talking basketball out here. You know, this is a hoop show. But I'm going to start off with the biggest question that I want to know, and if anybody else is tuned in, they may want to know the same. Man, what the hell is going on over there in that family of yours?
Well, listen, this family is a family of competitors. This family is a family that's at the top of the industry, so there's always going to be some rivalry, right? There's always going to be some infighting, but we are a family. Don't ever get that twisted. This is a family, so I see what you're trying to imply. I see what things are going, and I see how people can think what they're thinking, but there's only one family at the head of this industry, at the head of the sports and entertainment industry, and it is this family, and it's that way for a reason. So despite anything that's going on, it is still and always will be family first.
Yeah, okay, all right. Bloodline business, right? Okay. All right. Well, we got to that. We talked about family. We talking about family, right? Let's talk sports, right? So SimWorld U season's kicking off here. I know you're a big college sports guy. We got to talk about a little bit about that off air. Hey, man, I know you played ball at Georgia Tech, right? But other than Georgia Tech, other than maybe your cousin's squad out there in Miami, is there anybody you're rooting for this SimWorld U season? I know you're going to be tuned in tonight. Hopefully everybody else is going to be locked in. The game's tipping off at 7 o'clock on ESPN, but they're going to be simulcast, if anybody remembers that. Going to be simulcast on SimWorld TV. Look, Roman, who are you checking for, man?
Listen, you make no mistake about it. I am a Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket, and I anticipate seeing very big things from this team. And Adam Mahmoud out there is he's going to be a big time player. I've seen him play. I've talked to Coach. You know, I was down there shooting a promo and had a time to talk to the coaches of both the basketball and the football team, and everybody was a fan of the potential of this kid, Adam Mahmoud. So Georgia Tech, of course, but outside of that, had some time to spend with Lace Darius Outlaw of the Memphis Tigers, KB Mack, and Jalen Snow out of UCLA. We held a camp, and these kids came in, worked their asses off, worked out in the gym, weren't afraid to hit the weights. They were a little scrawny, of course. They weren't able to pull off, maximum lift, but these kids they're working hard. They have great work ethic. So yeah, Georgia Tech first and foremost. But I will be keeping an eye out for UCLA and Memphis.
Yeah, well, no disrespect, Tribal Chief. Georgia Tech may be cool to watch, but the ACC is going to be tough, and they got a lot of competition. But I see you're a loyal man, clearly. Despite what you may have done in the ring at times, you're a loyal man. But look, SimWorld Prep. These are the same questions because it's a hoop show, man. Hopefully, you've heard about SimWorld Prep. Want to know if you watch, and if you do, like who's your guy? Who's a kid that you may have taken note of? So yeah, just let us know.
I do a little bit. I know you weren't expecting that answer, but I do.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people have talked about this league and, you know, giving kids an opportunity to be seen on a national stage. And really, there's a guy that I'm gonna name here that really brings a lot of light to that point, and that's Skizo Takani, this kid from Alaska, and really just making a name for himself on the West Coast. Hard worker, hustler. Seeing him play at the Drew, I happened to be at a couple of pickup games. They went viral, of course, because I was there. But I love everything about him. Story very similar to mine and some of my family. So that's who I'll be rooting for. Showtime basketball. Skizo Takani, hard worker, yeah. So yeah.
All right. Well, I respect the hard work too. I'm a big fan of hey, you know, if you wasn't in the gym, then what were you doing? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I'm right there with you. Before you get out of here, man, one last question for you. I got something in the studio here. One last question for you before we get on with it. And we're gonna get back to wrestling. Big time wrestling fan here. Obviously, that's why we were able to get someone like you on the show. Saturday's Bad Blood. Of course, you weren't going to join here and join us unless you were able to promo something or get a little something off your chest. Saturday Bad Blood tips off, I think, at 6 o'clock Eastern. Yeah, just do you, man. What's going to happen this Saturday?
And there it is. You know, I said I wasn't going to talk much about this prior to the match or on this show or anywhere else, but there is only one tribal chief. There is only one head of the table. And that is going to be re-solidified at Bad Blood this Saturday. So to answer your question, Yells, I'm going to smash them. I'm going to stack them. Then I'm going to pin them. And I'm going to take back what's mine. And if Cody Rhodes decides to get in my way, well, I'll just say, I'll do what I have to do. So, a pleasure being on with you, Yells. I appreciate it, and I got to get back to doing some head of the table things.
Head of the table stuff. What the hell am I doing then? What am I doing? I think I'm doing some head of the table. All right, look. Appreciate Roman Reigns being on, the tribal chief, the head of the table, the big dog. Let me make sure he's out the door before I start doing all that out the studio. Yeah, all right, yeah, the big dog. Appreciate him joining in, man. But we're gonna keep everything moving here. We're gonna keep it light here. But look, it's time to make some tough calls, guys. Time to make some tough calls, and what I mean by that, we'll figure out what we're going to name this over time. Maybe you guys want to tap in and give some info. But I see y'all in the chat. Colden in the building. I see you, Ronnie Shanahan. Good luck tonight. I see Coach Dre Pope in the building. Coach Brooks Simpson in the building. Look, we got some cats in here tuned in. Taz Journey. What's up, my man? What do y'all want to talk about? If y'all can get some good questions in there, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take two really solid questions before we move into our last segment. That's how we're gonna do. And whoever gets the best question in, I think that's how we'll rock the EM challenge. Best question for Yells in the Hard in the Paint. A question maybe I really just don't want to answer, right? It's a tough call. You'll get 1,000 EMs. What y'all got? I'm reading here. I see everybody checking in. I see look him and Cody Rhodes is gonna take him out. I see that. Colden says the tribal chief is getting knocked out. We got Solo Sokoa fan here. What are the questions though, man? Where y'all at? Let's hear it. B. Ron Stradamus is in the building. No? Who will be the best SimWorld Prep player for this season? And who will be in 2 years? That's a good question, Coach Simpson. There's some pretty. I see how y'all trying to do. You trying to highlight your guys here. I see Coach Pope. You got a question. Who are the top 3 coaches on the hot seat in SimWorld U this season? It's a good question. Let's see if we can get a third one in there. See which one I'm feeling. These are all my opinions, of course. There's no law here. We got another one? No? Okay. All right. Who is the best SimWorld Prep player for this season? That's what I'm gonna go with. And then I see one more question came in the chat. We're gonna deduct. If I could take EMs away from y'all, I would take it. Who's gonna be beefing? I don't care who's beefing. Beef on the court. Let's make sure that it comes from somebody winning and then somebody losing, and not all the hypotheticals of I would wipe the floor. I seen the kids in the chat, man. It's clear some of these kids are in high school. It is very clear. I don't care about beef. What's beef? Anybody remember that song? What's beef? Don't want that one. We were in the same spot, Taz, until you dropped that question in there, man. Don't care about beef. Only beef I care about is on my plate, cooked medium rare. Now, who will be the best player in SimWorld Prep for this season? Who will be there? Who will be in 2 years? I'm going to make a call. What up, Rick Blaze in the building? This is not a homer pick. This is just my genuine opinion. Almighty Saul out in Houston with the H-Town Hoopers, the way he could get buckets however he wanted a season ago, and there was no spacing on the court. There was not a lot of fluidity in the coaching. Didn't really seem to have a scheme or a strategy. Seeing the coach this year seems to have some things in place. I was able to stop by some practices. Things look good, and most importantly, I'd say Almighty Saul has some shooting around him, maybe a scheme. Like, if he was able to do that just out there just winging it, I think that the rest of the SimWorld Prep circuit this season could be in a little bit of trouble. So as far as this season, I'm going Almighty Saul. I think it's not just his skill set, but it's a byproduct of him probably being more excited and exuberant this year, and having a real system around him, something that can highlight what he's got going on. As far as I think will be in 2 years, it's between 2 players. Okay, I'm going Monte Parson. Monte Parsons' skill set is crazy. As he gets older, naturally the frame is going to fill out. He may get a little taller, but more importantly, he's able to get that done. I think, was he around 215, 220? He's going to build some more muscle mass. That's how that works, right? So I'm going to go there. And then the other one is the big slow-ass Russian. If he dies, he dies. Big Andre Ivanov. I'm going to go Andre Ivanov. The kid is, I think he's checking in at like 7'2" already. And he know how to use all that size. I think the big man game is coming back. Shout out to Karl Anthony Towns. That's why the Timberwolves got his ass out of there, because he's not a big man. The big men are returning. Rudy Gobert outplayed that man in the playoffs. I'll say it, and trust me, I think Rudy Gobert is a piece of hot trash. Big man's making a return. Sorry, go off on a tangent there. But, yeah, Andre Ivanov would be my other one that I'm saying there. So, Ivanov, Monte Parsons in 2 seasons. Coach Simpson, pick up your 1,000 EMs coming your way. All right, so, all right, last part, man. Here, I got a question for y'all. I want to see what y'all we're gonna do. We're gonna do a little story time, right? and I want to see what the call is on story time. I got a couple of subjects for y'all since y'all seem to enjoy story time with Yales. I can go through what got me so into sports. That's one. I can go through. I can go through how I burned down an entire apartment complex. I can go through my football experience, or we could talk the start of SimWorld, how SimWorld came about. Limited time here. Let's see in the chat what y'all want to hear about. It's supposed to be interactive. You guys type slow as hell. I want y'all to know that. I'm going to have to take another drink when I'm on these because y'all type a little too slow. Intro to sports. Me burning down an apartment. Football, like how football rocked out for me. And or how SimWorld started off, getting behind the fourth wall for a minute. See apartment complex. I want to know how you burn that down. All right, that's two. We're gonna get on the clock here, and then the start of SimWorld. That's a good one. We're gonna give a countdown about 10 seconds. We ain't got a lot of people. SimWorld start. That's 2-2 here. We can get a tiebreaker here or a couple answers. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. All right, burning down an apartment. There it is. 3, 2, 1. All right, this is really not gonna be a long story. I'm gonna sound like an idiot. I want y'all to know that, and that's fair. My mom hated me for 20 years behind this. All right, so check it out. And I'll put a pin in the SimWorld one. We'll bring it back to the table. Nobody cares about anything other than arson. I didn't burn couches. Maestro, I got you beat. I burned down a whole apartment building. All right, so I just moved to Houston from the East Coast. I think I'm like 13, 14. No older than 14. Yeah, maybe I was 12. Yeah, I don't know, man. But I'm in that age range where you just start talking to girls, like seriously, and trying to see what you can actually get done with them, right? Mom was a cop, right? Or yeah, she was a cop for like many years. So when you're a police officer, for those of y'all, any of y'all might want to do that, or maybe y'all know how this goes. When you start as a police officer, they start you working the night shift or the late shift. So my mom's a 5'6" woman. Mom's a really attractive lady, small, petite, out working her ass off, single mom trying to keep son safe, right? So she's working the late shift. I go to school from, I think at that time it's like 6 to 2. She works essentially from 2 to 10, 2 to 11. And she works about an hour away. So we didn't see each other till the weekend. Latchkey kid kind of stuff, right? So she would always leave $5, right? That paid for something back then. She would leave $5 for me to run to the store, get whatever I'm going to eat for dinner, or there were leftovers. So I call her this day because there's no leftovers when I get home from school. Rick, shut your ass up, man. And so I call her and I'm like, yo, mom, you didn't leave anything here. And there's no leftovers. What I'm going to do? Now, what I need you to know is I say my mom's nice little petite lady to everyone else. To me, she was 5 dads who hated me. She was like, since dad's not around, I'm going to be 5 dads. She was harsh. It was crazy. So I call her, and this is what I hear. Get your ass off my phone. I'm out here risking my life. You calling me about some damn food. You're 12, you're 13. Hell, you should be able to get your ass in there, make something to eat. You should be able to do something for her. I just hear she goes off for like 5 minutes. I hang up. I'm like, God, yeah, I'm a piece of crap. I'm a piece of, I should. Like, what I'm calling, she's out here trying to risk her life for me. I should be able to do something. So, 12, 13, life a little different, man. Life is a little different. I go in the kitchen. I'm like, let me make something. 12, 13, what's a 12, 13-year-old want? 12, 13-year-old wants hamburger and fries. I never really paid attention much. I never paid attention to what was being cooked and how it was being done. So I just pulled together what I recall. I grabbed the fries. I grab a big boiler. The boiler's about this big. I pour enough grease in the boiler for me to boil the fries, because that's what I remember. So I fill the boiler up with grease. I pour the fries in it. I'm 12, 13. I'm starving, right? So all I can think of is making sure that this food cooks as fast as possible. So got the boiler going. I turn it I turn it all the way up to high, so it'll cook really fast. That's what needs to happen. I need the food to cook fast. And then I dump the fries in, and I hop on the phone with some little chick, walk into the back room, walk around the house a little bit, walk downstairs. One important note for any of y'all that are country or have country-ass family members come from the country or whatever, my mom's originally from Mississippi, originally. So the house was filled with nothing but all wooden, like straight up wood grandfather clocks and curio cabinets, if you know what that is, all lacquered out. Everything in the house is wood. That was like status, like you got something. So that's what she had all over the house lacquered up. I come back upstairs, man, and the microwave, which is above the stove, was dripping onto the stove because the fire was going. I panicked. I didn't grab the fire extinguisher. I didn't dump flour. I didn't do any of the things that we're taught in school. I ran my ass out of the apartment and ran to the neighbors to try and get a fire extinguisher. When I came back, all of that wonderful wood furniture was on fire, and the neighbors had to come pull me out of the apartment because all I could think was, if my mom's furniture burns, she is going to kill me. Well, what actually happened is I burned down 12 apartment units in a 16 building unit. And I was punished the rest of my life in our house. I actually moved out when I was 16 because the relationship was just never the same. Burnt the whole thing down. Moral of the story, pay attention. Pay attention to how things are happening so you can know what to do, because I was just straight up stupid. Burnt the whole thing down. But also, moms, y'all could be a little nicer. Ladies, explain stuff. Don't just assume we know. You got to explain things. Maybe I needed to know what I needed to make and how I needed to make it. And because she didn't explain anything, our relationship was never the same, and she had to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars. But I take responsibility. Yep, and that's how I burned down our apartment complex. True story. Rick asked my mom if you ever see her again. So, appreciate y'all, man. Yell story time. I think next time we'll have on another guest. Still want to know some topics y'all got. I know I am plugged in tonight. SimWorld U basketball. I'm gonna be plugged in this weekend, man. That is the moral of the story, Colton. I shouldn't have just cooked. And guess what? Just because you said that, I cook like 2 times a year now. I got married just so I could eat, bro. She cooks. She do all the cooking. We're gonna order whatever. But guess what? I ain't gonna do. I ain't cooking. If I do, it's some kind of pasta, and I'm putting it all together, and I'm going to have some help. I got some eyes watching because I'm not burning it down. I'm traumatized. But nevertheless, SimWorld U action tips off tonight, man. I hope y'all are going to be tuned in. I want to see at least 50 viewers on there. We get 50 viewers, we may give away 50,000 EMs. For that first matchup. SimWorld prep action coming this weekend. I'm looking forward to a DC Legacy games. That's going to be ready. I appreciate everybody tuning in, man. This has been Hard in the Paint. I will see y'all next Tuesday. We may have some change in some programming, but nevertheless, it's been real. Peace.